12th of July 2007, the US military responded to reports of small arms fire in a Baghdad suburb. The military stated that they couldn't positively identify the gunman, so they dispatched US Apache helicopters to the area. The events that followed have been subject to much debate and investigation. By mid-morning of the 12th, a dozen Iraqis were dead. Among them, 2 Reuters news agency staff members gunned down by a US Apache gunship. Now, recently, a video of the event has been posted online by the whistleblower WikiLeaks, provocatively titled "Collateral Murder." It shows us the build-up to the shootings, the aerial attacks, and the audio communication between the pilots and the ground forces. In the next half hour, we'll watch the video with the WikiLeaks editor and a US military analyst giving us their perspectives on the unfolding events. We must warn you, however, the following footage contains some images and audio that you might find disturbing.
This event has gained a lot of attention because this was video and it's very easy for people to see what's going on and to have faith that in somehow this is a true representation. It's not too complex, there's no language barriers for visual material.
I just drove over a body. Yeah.
We released the policies behind this material as far back as 2007.
I'd say that's a fairly accurate assessment so far.
They classify US military policies. We have been doing things surrounding these events for a number of years.
Oh, it's their fault for bringing their kids to a battle. That's right.
As we get more resources, we are able to do things like send people to Baghdad to flesh out background of material we release, which is great.
Well, I think we do have the luxury of looking back at it and from the comfort of our own, seats.
Roger, I just estimate there's about 20 of them.
When you're out in the battle, of course, you're being confronted, especially in a guerrilla war where you don't know exactly who the enemy is.
You have 5 to 6 individuals with AK-47s.
Soldiers are even more on edge than they are in a conventional war because they know the people have uniforms.
Yeah, we got a guy shooting. Now he's behind the building.
They're constantly on edge. They really showed that they were acting for their own safety in certain respects when the camera was mistaken for the RPG.
We got an RPG. All right, we got a guy with an RPG. I'm gonna fire. All I gotta do is pick up a weapon. Request permission to engage. Engage over. Come on, light them all up. Hey, Roger. And there's more that keep walking by, and one of them has a weapon.
So what you are seeing here is the gun camera footage from the Apache helicopter, a US Apache helicopter, circling around New Baghdad. The helicopter was called in to the general vicinity at 9:50 a.m. after there was a reportage of a small arms fire. There's no report in our records of that hitting US troops, and most importantly, there was no positive identification. That is, the location and description of the individual was never established. So there cannot be any allegation sustained that the particular people that this Apache helicopter will go on to attack were known to be people who had been previously shooting on US forces.
Stay firm. And open the courtyard.
Certainly journalists are going to go in, interview people from the other side and that sort of thing. It's still unclear if they were hanging out with insurgents, and if they are, then I think they have to be more careful. This is the problem with war, especially guerrilla warfare, is that you don't know who's friend, foe, or neutral. And so if journalists are with the insurgents in a situation like this, then they're probably really endangering their lives.
Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 18, have individuals with weapons. 4 radio. Rio Banners 1-4. Yep, he's got a weapon too.
You see a couple AK-47s. I do see the actual RPG, which was not mistaken.
Here is an individual who has something that is long, that may be a rifle, may be a rocket-propelled grenade launcher. It may be something else. Maybe a camera tripod, it may be a bit of building equipment. We don't know.
Request permission to engage.
Roger that. We have no personnel east of our position, so you are free to engage over.
All right, we'll be engaging. Roger, go ahead. I can't get them now because they're behind that building.
But now they're going to find out that the camera, the guy they think has the RPG, and they get very panicked, and they're very ambitious to fire at this point because the RPG is capable of knocking down the helicopter.
All right, we got a guy with an RPG. I'm going to fire. Okay. No, hold on, let's come around.
Once again, you could see at this angle how maybe that could be confused with someone attempting to fire an RPG, but nonetheless, the permission to kill all those people was asked for before this event and was granted before this event.
Yeah, we got a guy shooting. Now he's behind the building. God damn it.
Negative. He was right in front of the Brad.
When these helicopters were circling, they repeatedly circled around, so it wasn't just one time around. They have a 30mm rotating cannon on them, which is just a big Gatling gun.
You're clear. All right, firing.
When the state line out.
Let me know when you get it. We'll shoot. Light them all up.
002 traffic, 260.
Come on, fire.
Hey, Roger.
Keep shoot. Keep shoot.
What is being shot is a 30mm cannon. It's either explosive or depleted uranium. They're either fragmentation, which is probably what is being used here. They hit the ground and send out fragments.
Roger. Got him.
2-6, we'll move, but we got this.
This sweeping hits part of this house, and in fact there was one woman killed in this house and another person injured.
All right, you're clear. All right, I'm just trying to find targets again.
You could criticize the people in the helicopters, but of course they've been put in this situation, and that's where the fault may lie.
Got a bunch of bodies laying there. All right, we got about 8 individuals. Yeah, we got one guy crawling around down there, but yeah, we definitely got some. We're shooting some more. Roger. Hey, you shoot, I'll talk. Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 18.
Crazy Horse 18, this is Hotel 26, over.
Roger, currently engaging approximately 8 individuals.
So notice the report back. We are engaging approximately 8 individuals, KA, RPGs and AK-47s, but of course they only ever said that Namia's camera was an RPG, so this is an exaggeration.
Hotel 26, you need to move to that location once Crazy Horse is done and get pictures over. China.
Target 20 is the location. The Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 18. Oh yeah, look at those dead bastards. Nice.
Oh, it's like the language people use when they play video games. They feel a sense of accomplishment from killing those people.
Nice. Good shoot. Thank you.
You can see that they are thrilled to have killed those people, and they are congratulating each other on the killing ceremony.
Crazy Horse 18.
If you do this day in, day out, and you'll give them permission to do this, and you're encouraged by your superiors to get high kill counts.
Master 7, Crazy Horse 18. Location of bodies, Mike Bravo, 5458.
They've really been desensitized to warfare. I think under combat, when your adrenaline is high and that sort of thing, and you think there may be a potential threat, you're going to err on the side of saving your own life.
It's Crazy Horse 18, that's a good copy. They're on a street in front of an open courtyard with a bunch of blue trucks, a bunch of vehicles in the courtyard.
Now they're looking for some more targets because they've shot the initial targets and everything has been destroyed except one guy.
It's 18. We also have one individual appears to be wounded, trying to crawl away.
And now they're focusing on the body.
Roger, we're going to move.
That's moving.
Roger, we'll cease fire. Yeah, we won't shoot anymore.
And hoping he'll picking up a gun. He's getting up. And so they're...
He's getting up. If he has a weapon though in his hand? No, I haven't seen one yet. We'll see. You guys got that guy crawling right now on the curb? Yeah, I got him. I put 2 rounds near him, and you guys are shooting over there too, so we'll see.
But he doesn't pick up a gun, so they're just waiting on him, watching him.
Hotel 27, Bushmaster 7, go ahead.
Roger, I'm just trying to make sure that you guys have my turb over.
Roger, we got the turb. Come on, buddy. All I gotta do is pick up a weapon.
Yeah, so they, come on, buddy, all you gotta do is pick up a weapon. Come on, just pick up a weapon. And they want the excuse to kill him. Apparently they gain some pleasure from either the kill or from the kill count, getting a high score in the game of war.
I'll pop flares. We also have one individual moving. We're looking for weapons. If we see a weapon, we're going to engage. Now, Bushmaster, we have a van that's approaching and picking up the bodies. Where's that van at? Right down there by the bodies. Okay, yeah. Bushmaster, Crazy Horse, we have individuals going to the scene, looks like possibly picking up bodies and weapons. Let me engage you.
Hey, we need to stop that so we can get down there. We need to straight south. You see my location?
Roger. Break. Crazy Horse 1-8, request permission to engage.
So the controller tells them they need to stop this evacuation of weapons and bodies.
Come on, let us shoot.
But it looks like the pilots understand that their commander will give the go signal if there is some interaction with weapons. So they seem to have this understanding that if people pick up the wounded, that is enough reason to get permission under the rules of engagement to kill them.
Request permission to engage.
Bushmaster 7, Roger. This is Bushmaster 7, Roger, engage.
1-8, engage. Clear. Come on. Clear. Clear. We're engaged.
And you can see that they also deliberately target Saeed, the wounded man, on the ground. Despite their earlier belief that they didn't have the rules of engagement, that the rules of engagement did not permit them to kill Saeed when he was wounded. When he was rescued, suddenly that belief changed. But you can see in this particular image, he is lying on the ground and the people in the van have been separated, but they still deliberately target and kill him.
I got an azimuth limit for some reason.
This is why we called it collateral murder. In the first example, maybe it's a collateral exaggeration or incompetence. When they strafe this initial gathering. This is recklessness, bordering on murder, but we couldn't say for sure that that was murder. But in this particular event, this is clearly murder.
Left. Clear left.
There you can see how powerful the cannon is because it just shot out all the tires in the van and everything else in the van.
Bushmaster, Crazy Horse 1-8. A vehicle appears to be disabled. There was approximately 4 to 5 individuals in vehicle moving bodies. Your lead, Bradley, should take the next right. That's cruising east down the road. No more shoot.
So now you'll see the ground forces come into the picture. So they're holding fire, so they don't want to have friendly fire on the ground forces because identification, friend or foe, systems in the military are still not all that good, so they have restricted fire when the ground troops come into the area.
Roger's Crazy Horse. Your lead, Bradley, just turned south on the road where all the engagements happen. Should have a van in the middle of the road with about 12 to 15 bodies.
You can see that they are bragging about, hey, look, go down the road, you will find 12 to 15 bodies. They are bragging to the ground troops.
Oh yeah, look at that, right through the windshield.
Once again, proud about their prowess in shooting a bullet right through the windshield.
They did respect the chain of command because they were requesting to fire in every instance.
Just be advised, Bushmaster 6 are getting...
Bushmaster radio.
Yes, Viper, 5 Tulip running strong 208 for strong 4. We call frequency. Yeah, I just drove over a body.
This is Namir's body. There was a US independent journalist who took some footage the next day of this region, and his witnesses told him that next day that they drove over someone who was half alive and killed him when he was half alive. Now, we don't have independent confirmation of that, but on the other hand, this is from the day after, long before we released this material.
I don't think there's a clear violation of international law.
Hey, I need to get the brass to drop ramps. I got a wounded girl. We need to take the rough to Maya.
I don't think they knew that there were children in the van.
Bushmaster 7, Hotel 26, do you want us to move to your location, over?
If you put the safety of your troops over civilians all the time, then you're going to end up losing the war, because of the civilian population is the center of gravity in any counterinsurgency. And the United States made some pretty serious mistakes in Iraq and in Afghanistan early on, and I think part of the problem that we're seeing with the people in the helicopter is they may be blamed for rules of engagement that were too loose.
Okay, Roger, we're moving up north on Gaddens, and then we will push east to your location.
Ground troops arrive at the van and they see that there are children inside the van, wounded children, and eventually a medic comes and looks at the children and says, "There's nothing I can do here, the wounds are too severe. I want them to be taken to the military hospital at Rustenmeyer, a high quality military hospital." He radios in to the sort of higher command and he is told, "No, I'm not going to do that, instead deliver them to Iraqi police."
Roger, that's a negative on evac of the two civilian kids to Rusty. They're going to have the IPs link up with us over here, break. IPs will take them up to a local hospital, over.
That's a good copy, over.
Roger that. Light to tell.
It's their fault for bringing their kids to a battle.
That's right.
You didn't see any battle at all. This is a statement by the gunner, you can recognize his voice, and by the pilot.
Roger. Break. Crazy Horse 1-8, request permission to engage. Picking up the wounded.
If you're looking in your living room at this video, you can see that the people in the van appear to be children, but under combat circumstances, I don't really believe these guys were out to kill innocent civilians. I think that can be established, or at least you can give them the benefit of the doubt.
Roger, I can hear a small arms fire from your engagement area at 2000, about 300 meters from that objective.
The Apache has given a report from ground troops that they hear small arms fire, once again, somewhere in the vicinity, about 300 meters from their last engagement.
Right. He's got a weapon. Got an AK-47.
Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 1-8.
Gonna lose him.
Crazy Horse 1-8, this is Hotel 26, over.
Roger, have another individual with a weapon. If you like, Crazy Horse 1-8 could put a missile in that building.
Crazy Horse 1-8, this is Bushmaster 6 Romeo. If you PID the individuals in the building with weapons, go ahead and engage the building, over.
If you have positively identified individuals in that building with weapons, go ahead and engage the building. So this is a policy where people with weapons, or reportedly with weapons, walk into a building, you can destroy the building.
2007 was a more violent time. In this case, back in Iraq, the rules of engagement were less restrictive than they are in Afghanistan now. So what you're seeing there, I think, is we do have the luxury of hindsight.
Put a missile in that building.
So here is the building in its context. This is the building they're intending to target on. Here's the street.
Roger that. Right. Put a kilo in.
All right, let me back. I'm going to come around. get some more distance.
Yeah, roger that, you're clear.
There's 2 more people who are entering into this building. As far as we can see, they are unarmed.
Okay, roger that.
Now keep an eye on the left-hand side of the screen.
Roger, I'll get you in constraint. You're clear.
Alright, firing.
So just a pedestrian walking down the street, clearly seen on the gun camera, not even worthy of comment.
It's Crazy Horse 1-8 now. We're going to put one more missile into the building. Firing. There it goes. Look at that bitch go. Badoosh.
The pilots used some unfortunate language and that sort of thing while the engagement was going on.
A little more room. Nice missile.
Did it look good?
Sweet.
Modern aerial warfare is treated like a video game, and the pilots and gunners concerned appear to become corrupted. By doing that, they're too far removed from their victims. They just want to get a high score, and that results in this indiscriminate killing where any excuse is looked for to provide something within the rules or close to the rules so they can start that attack.
Big Ed Radio, Grand 2 zeros off of 314.
When you put people under these types of circumstances, they can react, they can overreact. And under combat, when your adrenaline is high and that sort of thing, and you think there may be a potential threat, you're going to err on the side of saving your own life. They think that the guy has an RPG. They get really intense about shooting. And I think that sort of carries the whole thing.
For the consequences, it's up for history to decide, but there is one consequence that we are already happy with. That is, the Pentagon has stated that those children who were not compensated will be compensated. So that is a small but clear and concrete outcome that will be a lasting effect. For the broader effect, this is up for everyone to decide, but the material is certainly gaining a lot of scrutiny and consideration.
An official military investigation took place in 2007, clearing all U.S. military personnel involved. Nevertheless, the video has now been released. But what are the ramifications of making such videos public?
The video still has not been released by the Pentagon, and it was only as a result of a whistleblower inside the US military stepping forward with the material that we see it now. There would be no discussion today at all if it was not for that military whistleblower stepping forward.
In the United States, at least, the U.S. press regularly sanitizes the effects of war. I don't think it's as bad overseas, but implicitly that's the press here supporting the war. And I think if more of these scenes of actually what happens during war, there may be more reluctance on the part of the congressional representatives, on the part of the president, on the part of the American public, to send forces overseas, because I think everyone thinks that the troops were well-meaning, but when they're put in these situations, these types of things happen.